Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival. This is, yeah, I know the lighting in here is weird. It's all dark and stuff. I did that on purpose just so you could see what I was about to do here. What I am doing is testing the Gas 1 butane stove. Gas 1 makes several stoves, and I don't know exactly which model number this is. And yeah, I already took it out of the case. But it comes with this little carrying case that is plastic, and it kind of sucks, but it's a carrying case, so what's it supposed to do? I'd probably break that thing after a couple of trips out to the campsite. It uses butane fuel cans. These, it did not come with the butane fuel cans. I had to order these separately. Yeah, it says keep this side up for use, insert this end. Keep this side up for use, insert this end. You insert this end. Has an arrow. This end has to be inserted. People really need those instructions. Anyway, like I said, I have a CO2 detector in here. I got this for other purposes. We do have CO2 detectors built into our smoke alarms in the house, but I wanted this one for the room where the furnace is. It's a gas furnace, and even though there's a smoke detector outside of that room, I wanted that for in that room because additional safety precautions I am taking is I have this. This is the same brand as that thing. It's the Kid brand, I guess, Kidde. Came highly recommended from the Angry Prepper. This is the same brand of fire extinguisher, also came highly recommended from the Angry Prepper, and in case you were not aware, he is a New York City firefighter, so I trust his judgment on this. This does say it'll work on gases and liquids, and so I do believe it would work just fine. Operation instructions are pretty easy with this. You pull the metal pin, it breaks the little clip here that's just keeping the pin in. This thing is really easy. I can break this with one finger pretty easily, and then squeeze and obviously aim this end right here at the fire, and hopefully that puts out whatever fire that you have created for yourself. Now, he did suggest that I get a bigger one, but I do have several fire extinguishers, including several bigger ones. And, yeah, I'm going to leave that one next to the desk. That's going to be my desk fire extinguisher. Because I tend to do things that I shouldn't do at a desk, like, I don't know, test my flint and steel. And things that I've done at my desk on camera, obviously. So, besides that, there's a lot of wires all around me, a lot of wires, and I gotta say they're not organized very well, and they're laying on top of each other, and it's pretty well a fire hazard. So yeah, fire extinguisher next to the desk is probably a good idea. That being said, all right, so this stove came highly recommended from quite a few prepping channels, actually. And I'm all about testing my own stuff for my own self and not just going off the word of somebody on YouTube. No offense to the people on YouTube, but yeah, do your own research, question everything, especially me or anybody else who's sitting in front of the camera and may act like they know what they're doing. Just saying, there are several of them. Several of them. So that being said, I'm going to get the camera flipped around and point it over there, and I'm actually going to cook on this thing, assuming it doesn't kill me and I can light it properly. I'm going to make a can or part of a can of corned beef hash. I never make a full can just for myself because that's just too much and I'm a little guy. So yeah, if this works well, corned beef hash, that's what I'm going to be doing with it. We are cooking with Gordon Grimsey here. Yeah. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's actually been quite a bit since the first clip I recorded there because I had to charge the phone that was almost dead. And yeah, what we are doing is testing that stove with this gas, as you probably remember, there's the thing over there to know if I'm about to kill myself or not. Fire extinguisher is very close to me, and I'm going to try to cook some corned beef hash. Hopefully the stove works and I don't have to go cook it somewhere else, but I will if necessary. So yeah, I have to open it, and this is the can opener I'm using. This is the Leatherman Wave. Obviously I like to do it like that so I can get a good grip, and yeah. And this is how you use one of these can openers right here, in case you've never used one. You just, I don't know if you can see it very well, but you clip it like this, see? And then you just push down and work your way around. You clip the little hook there on the outside lip of the can, and it works very well. It does take a little more time than, you know, other can openers. The little twisty ones, or obviously the electric ones, are a lot faster. But what are you going to do if you have no electricity and your little cheap twisty one breaks? Because I've broken so many of those things that I can't even count how many of them I've owned. And to be quite honest with you, I prefer to open cans with this, even if I have access to those other things, just because it's good practice. It works really well. And it's skills to have, because I always carry this Leatherman. Always. There is no place I've ever not taken it. Ever. Since I've had it anyway. I was in a Lowe's hardware store about a week ago, and they had the Leatherman Wave in there for sale. The newest one that has some different features. Only very slightly different features than this one. And there we go. It's a can of cat food. Kind of looks like it. Doesn't smell like cat food, but it kind of looks like it. I would like to report, while I have this thing out right here, that I did end up replacing the little glasses screwdriver. I hope you can see that. It's a flathead and a Phillips on there, and it still doesn't lock in very well. So I'll probably end up losing it. For that reason, I bought a 3-pack of these things. They were $5, so it was a real cheap replacement. Alright, now that the can is open, let's set up the stove. I have never used this stove before, ever, not once. It was recommended by prepping channels, so I purchased one thinking, hey, that would be convenient, because it's a lot smaller. Now I have, oh, it's upside down. Now I have used propane camp stoves, Coleman camp stoves. I've used a lot of camp stoves over in my time for various reasons. None of them came with a cheap plastic carrying case. It is convenient to carry it in the case, I will say. But yeah, it's still a cheap plastic case and somewhat in my way right now. So, in order to set this up, first you take this off and you have to flip it upside down. Apparently it has a safety mechanism. When it's stored properly, it cuts it off. Yeah, and it's warning you how to do it right there in case you're not aware and you can't see the obvious. And I gotta say, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten much today. Alright, so the gas canister goes like this. I'm going to try to show you this. It goes right in there. You push that in there, and then what you do from there is you push this switch down, and if you can see it, it's moving that. It pushes the can in there and locks it in. And so all you do is you pop off the red tab of the gas can, and you lift this little thing here. That's what holds it down. You push it in there like so, and then you push this down. Now you push this all the way down, and it's, see if you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. You push this lever all the way down, and it pushes the can in there, and I'll go ahead and leave it open while I do that. That's harder to push than I thought it would be. Okay, so obviously that's not sealed in there correctly. And now it smells like gas in here. Let's see if that thing actually works. Probably not, because I don't think it's a gas detector. It's a CO2 detector. That's not supposed to do that for sure. And I'm definitely not lighting anything right now after that did that. So if it's going to keep doing that, I'm obviously going to go cook this food on the stove and not on this thing. And yeah, it's definitely stinky like gas in here, so time to turn on the fan. Window is open, fan is on. That's kind of annoying. See, this is why you should always test your stuff. Always, always, always test your stuff. Don't just go off the recommendations of some YouTuber who flashes it in your face and says it's a good thing, because you don't know. It does say keep that side up for use. Okay, I'm seeing what the problem is there's a little, right here, there's a little lip in the can, and that was preventing it from going all the way in. So there's a reason that arrow is there, and I did say that before I made... Yeah, I was just making fun of people who couldn't read instructions and actually knew this, and I didn't even realize that it was the stupid lip in the can for the clip that... Yeah, anyway. So my bad. Oops. That's what I get for making fun of people. So I did turn the fan around and blow fresh air into the room and disperse the gas. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to lock this thing down properly, hopefully, maybe. Oh yeah, you see how easy that was? That was easy. No gas is spraying. Doesn't stink in here. Alright. One complaint I had from people was this thing didn't lock in properly, but mine seems to clip in there pretty well. That's good. Now the operation of this thing is just, you turn this all the way to ignite. I assume that it has a sparker in there because it doesn't take batteries. And I assume I'm not going to die right now, but if I do, I guess you're going to see it live. Well, not live, but yeah. So I'm going to try to show you. There's a max and a minimum right here. So you're not supposed to go down below that. Obvious reasons to keep the gas from killing you. And I'm going to let that burn for just a minute. It does look cool, doesn't it? Look at the pretty flame. I like flame. And that's on about minimum right there. Maximum is right there. And I can feel the heat from this thing. I can also hear the gas. So, yeah. I'm going to let that burn for a minute and remember that I forgot things that I need to cook this stuff, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And we are cooking with butane. What I forgot was butter. So, yeah, I had to go collect butter, because I can't cook my corned beef without butter. Well, I probably can, but I don't want to. So, let's just do the things. I do have a pot holder around here. That is one of my cast iron skillets. That's actually the medium-sized one. And sorry for the noisy chair. And yes, that's the sound of paper towel. I do have pot holders around me for when this gets hot, because it will. Does anybody want to watch butter melt with me? I mean, why not, right? Let's see if we can do some adjustment here. We're gonna need adjustment. Butter is melting. It is a very stable stove, I gotta say. Butter is melting rather quickly. That's good. The problem I always have, and sorry, the window's open because obvious reasons. The problem I always have with corned beef is getting the corned beef out of the stupid can. So I didn't bring my fork with me because I completely forgot it. I have a plastic spoon sitting on my desk. I have a plastic butter knife. Don't ask where it came from. I'm not telling anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna try with a plastic butter knife to dig corned beef out of this can. and not make a huge mess all over my desk. That'll be fun. Yeah, we really need to move the butter around a bit and cover the bottom of the pan. It's still burning. So I'm not going to make you suffer through the entire cooking process of corned beef. Well, maybe I will, just for fun. Getting it out of the can is still the hardest part. Does anybody want to watch Cooking with Gordon Grimsey here? Grimsey. I hope that one doesn't stick. That's a dumb name. And people calling me Grimmy. I really hate being called Grimmy, just so everybody knows. I will probably ignore you if you do it. Which means a lot of people probably will, because they don't care. This is hot, I gotta say. And this is taking entirely too long. Alright, let's see. Let's just use a knife. A real one. I don't know how you prep your food, but me, I just use my multi-tool for everything. I cook with it, I eat with it. I stir with it. Yeah, I'm only going to cook about half of that can because I don't need that much. I'm a little guy. I don't eat a lot. And I just happen to have this from camping, or not camping, from grilling. That's just what I have. I am by no means an expert at cooking, but I do know how to make crispy corned beef. Is to flatten it as much as possible and then leave it alone. The thinner it is, the crispier it'll get. So that's all I'm trying to do. And it's hard to see because my chair is really low and I can't see into the entire pan. I might be standing up here, would be easier. So I do have the CO2 detector, although this is gas and not CO2, so that's probably not very helpful. I am turning this down to minimum because we're cooking with cast iron here. And cast iron heats up evenly and quickly, especially over a gas stove. So I gotta say, initial impressions of the stove are good. It seems to be working. I don't remember exactly which model number this is, but it was like $30, and I will be posting a link to it in the description. I can say that Gas One makes a lot of different stoves. They have some that have a bigger side over here, and it will accept a dual fuel, so it will accept one of the propane canisters or the butane canisters. But as far as I know, if you're using the propane canister with it, you actually have to have a hose that comes with it when you order it. It's still pretty small. I'd say it's not much bigger than this, maybe just slightly because of this bigger size over here to hold a propane canister. And from what I was told about that one, with that particular hose that you have to use to connect the propane to it, you can get that hose and use it with this also, but I'm not sure it locks in properly, so I would be cautious of doing that. And now I have corned beef popping out of my stove here. Okay, that's getting hot. I know there's a... yeah, I left it over here. I stole a glove and it's dirty. That's awesome. Dirty glove. Anyway, as I was saying, turn the heat up a little more. It's just not cooking fast enough. I'm hungry here. This smells good. The hose that comes with the other one is a problem for it, because you can only get that hose from Gas One, and that hose tends to have issues when you shut the stove off. If you don't do it properly, Gas One actually suggests that you disconnect the propane canister after every use, which would just be annoying to me, to be honest with you. Although this canister, I am going to disconnect it and put it somewhere else, because I'm just going to leave the stove here on the desk for the night, and I'm definitely not going to leave it in there when I do that. That would be dangerous and somewhat stupid. Fortunately, I didn't blow myself up when I put the can in there incorrectly, after I made fun of people not knowing how to put the can in there, which is just funny. I mean, yeah, I find that funny. If you don't find that funny, what's wrong with you? So, who wants to watch corned beef cook? I was going to cook an egg, but I don't really need an egg. It is getting kind of late at night, but I'm just hungry. I haven't eaten much today, and I have videos to edit. And speaking of editing videos, sometime tomorrow, I intend to finish the GNN video that was supposed to go up Monday, that I recorded half of it on Sunday, actually. And yeah, it just never got around to it. Alright, quit snapping corned beef at me. Yeah, it's starting to get crispy. It's about time to flip it. But in order to flip it, I have to hold the pan. And the pan's getting nice and hot. And I just need to stand up so I can see. Alright, let's see how this works. There we go. Crispy corned beef. Get off there. Seriously? Get off there. A little bit stuck to my pan, but that tends to happen every now and then. And I know you're not supposed to use metal spatulas with cast iron. It's a bad idea. I'm not really scraping it, and I need to re-season this thing anyway. So far, the gas one stove is working well, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I do got to say, it's making it very hot in here. And I probably could have let that cook on that side a little bit longer, but hey, I'm hungry, and as long as it's hot, I'll eat it. It's already, you know, safe to eat right out of the can. You don't technically have to heat it up at all. But let's crank the heat on this thing and see how it really works. As I was saying, I have several cast iron skillets. I have 3 or 4 different sizes. This is, I think, is the medium size. I have one that's really small that I use for camping usually. Every now and then I use it in the house when I have to cook something, which I don't really like cooking, to be honest with you. It's just not my thing. But I get it done when I have to. And I do know how to cook several things, including chicken, steak, burgers, beef. Beef and chicken, I can cook both of those things. I have fried turkeys before, and I'm just going to keep rambling on to kill some time while this is cooking. And when it's done cooking, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to put it on to eat it, because I think I forgot a plate, so that'll be fun. But really, this was just a test of the stove. I won't review something unless I've used it thoroughly. So this is not a review of this stove. This is a test of this stove. This is the first use. It says it's made for outdoor use. It says not to use it inside, actually. Yeah, it says it right on the front of this thing. For outdoor use as a portable camp stove only. Not for household use. It actually says that. And then it's smoking really good in here now. Probably because it's about done. So I turned off the gas. Turned off the gas because this is cast iron, people. It'll keep cooking. And yeah, I know. Scrapey, scrapey. The gas is completely off. There's no more flameage. Yes, I did say flameage. So, like I was saying about this thing, for household use only, or not for household use, used as an outdoor portable camp stove. It also warns you not to use this, those canisters if it's below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's below water freezing temperature, it says do not use those butane canisters. Not sure why. I'll have to look that up. I don't think you have those same restrictions on propane canisters. As a matter of fact, I know you don't have those restrictions on propane canisters. So I'm not sure how viable this would be in a camping situation, or definitely a bug out situation, with the fact that you can't use it below freezing temperatures. Obviously, if it's below freezing temperatures, you could start a fire and heat the can up slowly near the fire, very slowly. That would be a very dangerous thing to do, depending on how far away it is from the fire. You could keep the canister inside of your jacket pocket or next to your person, assuming it's not leaking. So that may also be a dangerous thing to do. So you're gonna have to really think about it if you plan on using one of these. Best use of this is going to be for summer camping, or not in winter camping. Is going to be the best use for this thing, just because of those restrictions. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest with you, just for that reason. Yeah, if you can't use it in all weather and all seasons, what's the point in having it? I mean, just take Texas for example. People that had below freezing temperatures inside their homes, needed to cook. I mean, this would be useless to them, completely useless to them, because of that one restriction. So for that, I'm gonna say I wouldn't recommend this thing, just because of that. And for any other use, just for basic camping, it comes with a cool case. You could walk around with it and take it with you to a campsite. But for bugging out, or SHTF, or freezing temperatures causing your water pipes to bust and your house freezing, you're not going to be able to use it. It's probably a very dangerous thing to use this thing if that canister is too cold. So I'm just going to tell you, I don't think it's a good idea to have this thing. I do have it, and I will put it with my other camp stoves that take propane canisters, and maybe use it again here or there in the summertime. But other than that, yeah, I'm going to call this nah. I'm going to call it a nah. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So, alright, here's me. I'm still alive. I'm about to eat some corned beef hash because I cooked it and I'm hungry. So I thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I just wouldn't, just because of that one thing. You can't use it below freezing. I just would not recommend it for that one reason. So make your own choice on that. I'll still post a link to it in the description. I'll probably still use it here or there in the summertime, but maybe for outdoor, when I'm grilling things, I can throw a cast iron pot next to it and heat up things. But yeah, it's not going to be a viable thing for SHTF or for bugging out for sure. It's just not. For bugging out those little bitty stoves, and I have one of those, I've shown it before. Little bitty stoves, you connect them to the gas can. That works way better. And so, yeah, that's my thoughts. Do your own research, question everything, make your own decisions. You're responsible for yourself. I'm not. So that's my disclaimer. Thank you guys for watching. This has been James with Grim Survival, and I'll see you next time. Corned beef.